Oh friends, I want to speak to you about a gift so small it is often overlooked, yet so revealing that it exposes the truth of love. Not all tests arrive as fire or famine. Some arrive as a cup of water. When rain fell and collected into a single vessel, it seemed ordinary, almost insignificant. Yet that water carried a question no wealth could answer. When you have little, whom do you remember first? The Arab and his wife lived with scarcity as their companion. Each day required calculation, patience, and restraint. When the rain came, it was not an abundance. It was relief measured in drops. The water was precious because it was limited. It could not satisfy everyone. And because it could not satisfy everyone, it demanded a choice. Love is often tested not by what you can give when there is plenty, but by what you are willing to share when there is not enough. O seekers, notice how the heart reacts in moments of small provision. When the gift is modest, the ego speaks loudly. It says, "Save it." It says, "You deserve this." It says, "Think ahead." These voices sound reasonable. They speak the language of survival. But love speaks another language. It asks, "Who needs this more than I do?" That question feels dangerous when the throat is dry and the future uncertain. The wife held the water and thought of the children, of tomorrow, of how quickly such gifts vanish. The husband looked at the sky and thought of trust, of generosity, of how withholding tightens the heart. Each was sincere, each feared loss. But love does not appear where fear is absent. Love appears where fear is faced and not obeyed completely. O friends, the test was not whether the water would be shared, but how it would be offered. Would it be given with resentment or with openness? Would it be measured with calculation or released with trust? A gift offered grudgingly carries weight. A gift offered freely carries light. The water could quench thirst either way, but only one way could soften the heart. I have seen people give much and love little. I have seen others give almost nothing and love deeply. The measure of love is not quantity, it is posture. The rainwater became sacred not because it was rare, but because it was offered from vulnerability. When you give from strength, generosity is easy. When you give from need, generosity becomes devotion. O seekers, there is a moment in every sincere relationship when love must choose between security and openness. Security builds walls. Openness builds bridges. The rainwater could be hoarded, ensuring brief safety, or shared, risking emptiness. Love chose risk. Not recklessness, but trust. Trust that what flows through you does not disappear, it moves. The gift of rainwater did not guarantee immediate abundance. It did not solve poverty. It did not silence fear forever. But it transformed the space between giver and receiver. It loosened the grip of scarcity on the heart. And that loosening is often the beginning of provision, though it rarely looks like reward. O beloved ones, do not misunderstand this story as instruction to ignore responsibility. Love is not careless. but neither is it afraid to give when giving matters. The test of love is subtle. It asks not, how much can you afford, but how tightly are you holding? Sometimes what needs to be released is not the object, but the fear wrapped around it. I learned this when I gave what I believed I could not spare. The loss frightened me at first. I waited for the consequences. But something unexpected happened. The fear loosened. The heart breathed. I realized that what I had been guarding was not life, but anxiety. When anxiety was released, space appeared. And in that space, trust could finally stand. Oh friends, rainwater teaches this quietly. What comes freely must be held lightly. When you cling, it stagnates. When you share, it flows. Love does not promise safety. It promises alignment. It aligns you with a movement larger than calculation, where giving does not diminish, but reorients. If you wish to walk this path honestly, pay attention to small gifts. Notice where generosity feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is the edge of growth. Do not force yourself beyond wisdom, but do not retreat into fear disguised as prudence. Love is tested in the ordinary, in cups of water, in moments no one applauds. The gift of rainwater did not make the Arab and his wife wealthy. It made them open. And openness is a wealth fear cannot measure. When love passes the test of scarcity, it learns something essential. That what is shared in trust returns not always as provision, but as freedom. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episodes.